Everyone says their data lives in the cloud. But what actually is the cloud? In the next few minutes, we'll demystify it. No technical background needed. Simply put, the cloud is renting someone else's computers over the internet instead of buying and running your own. You use them when you need them and pay only for what you use. You use the cloud every day, streaming a show, sending email, backing up your photos, joining a video call. All of it runs on computers in someone else's data center. Not long ago, every company ran its own server room. You bought the machines, powered and cooled them, secured them, and hired people to keep them running, all before serving a single customer. That model was painful. Huge money up front, months to add capacity, and you either bought too much and wasted it, or too little and crashed when demand spiked. Computing evolved in waves, from room-sized mainframes to companies running their own servers, to massive shared data centers, and finally to the cloud, which Amazon opened to everyone in 2006. The key breakthrough was virtualization, software that splits one powerful physical computer into many independent virtual machines. A virtual machine is a full computer built purely in software, with its own operating system, all sharing the same hardware. Now, capacity could be sliced up and rented by the minute. Amazon had built huge computing capacity for its own store. It began renting the spare capacity to others, and Amazon Web Services, the first modern cloud, was born. So why move to the cloud? No big upfront cost, capacity in minutes, not months, pay only for what you use, instant global reach, and your team focuses on the product, not the plumbing. Think of it like electricity. You don't build a power plant to light your office. You plug in and pay for what you use. The cloud does the same for computing. This is elasticity. On a big sale day, you scale up to thousands of servers for a few hours, then scale back down. You pay for the peak only while you actually need it. And it's fast. What used to take months of buying and wiring now takes minutes, and you can launch to customers on the other side of the world the same afternoon. Cloud comes in 3 main flavors based on how much the provider manages for you: infrastructure, platform, and software as a service, IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Here's the easy way to remember it. Making pizza. Do it all at home, use a take-and-bake kit, get it delivered, or dine out. Each step, someone else does more of the work. That's IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. With infrastructure as a service, you rent the raw building blocks, virtual servers, storage, and networking, and manage everything on top yourself. Maximum control. A well-known example is Amazon EC2, Amazon's service for renting virtual servers by the second. With platform as a service, the provider runs the servers and operating system. You just bring your code and hit deploy. Less control, far less to manage. Think Google App Engine. With software as a service, everything is done for you. You simply log in and use finished software in your browser. Think Gmail, Salesforce, or Zoom. You also choose where it runs. Public cloud is shared and rented. Private cloud is your own dedicated environment. Hybrid mixes both. And multi-cloud spreads across several providers, so you don't depend on just one. A handful of providers dominate. The big 3 are Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud, followed by Alibaba, Oracle, and IBM. Each has a personality. AWS offers the widest range of services. Azure blends tightly with Microsoft and Office. Google leans into data, analytics, and machine learning. So, where does the cloud physically live? In data centers, enormous guarded buildings whose only job is to house, power, and cool thousands of servers running around the clock. Providers place data centers in regions around the world. each with several independent zones. Being close to users makes things fast, and spreading across zones keeps you running if one fails. Here's what happens when you tap an app. Your request travels over the internet to the nearest region, a server processes it, pulls from a database, and sends the answer back, usually in a fraction of a second. Let's watch it end to end. From your laptop at the office, your request travels up over the internet to the cloud provider, which saves it in a database. Then the results flow back down the same way, and a live dashboard appears on your screen, all in a couple of seconds. Under the hood, 4 building blocks do most of the work: compute to run programs, storage to hold files, databases to organize data, and networking to connect it all. When traffic surges, a load balancer spreads requests across many servers, and autoscaling adds more automatically, then removes them when the rush is over. No one has to press a button. Reliability comes from redundancy. Data is copied across zones and backed up, so if a server or even a whole building fails, another quietly takes over and you barely notice. Security is shared. The provider secures the buildings, hardware, and core software. You secure your own data, accounts, and access. Both sides have a job. That's the shared responsibility model. It isn't magic. Costs can creep if you leave things running. Moving between providers is hard. That's lock-in. Some data must stay in certain countries, and outages, while rare, do happen. For a business, the cloud means launching faster, turning big upfront costs into flexible pay-as-you-go, scaling to any size, and freeing your people to build instead of maintain. So, the cloud is computing you rent over the internet. It comes as infrastructure, platform or software, runs in global data centers, scales on demand, and lets you focus on what matters.